Hey guys, we don't have a whole lot going on this week for Global, so there's not a whole lot to record. We've got a raid, which is boring. We've got this daily boss, which is not really hard or anything, but it's Rufus. You can only bring Final Fantasy VII units, but you can bring Final Fantasy VII units, which means you can bring Tifa, which means you just one-shot him on turn 1 or turn 2. So the Rufus fight is kind of like whatever. But we do have a new Brave Insignia boss, and we've got a soon quest to rerun some old trials. Most of them are just super easy one-shots, but Behemoth is a little tricky. So in this video, I'll be showing how I'm going to farm a few of these Pog bosses, and then we'll level up our new Neovision's Red XIII, and we'll use Red XIII to make Behemoth extraordinarily easy. So we'll be showing how to do that in just a moment. First of all, let's go ahead and do the Pog boss. We're not going to bring a friend to the Pog boss because bringing a friend to this is just a headache. We're going to bring no one. And this is my usual Pog team, or Brave Insignia team. I bring Cloud and Tifa. They just chain. This boss is vulnerable to fire and one other element. I think it was either dark or holy. It doesn't matter. We're using fire. So a fire weapon. If you don't have Centaurio, you could use the Anniversary fire weapon, which is the Inferno Saber Plus. Everybody was given this for free during the Anniversary. If you didn't play during the Anniversary, just use a one-handed fire weapon. The boss is easy. Doesn't really matter. Tifa, fire weapon, same thing. We gave her a Cannon's Blade. And this boss is a bird and a human. So put Human Killer and Bird Killer on your DPS. So you see we got lots of Human Killer and Bird Killer. Lots of Human Killer and Bird Killer. There we go. For breaking the gauge, I'm going to use Rosa because Rosa is the easiest and the quickest. Zahn does it too, but the only problem with Zahn is his animation is like 4 times longer than Rosa. I don't like sitting there for 30 seconds per boss. I'd rather do it in 10 seconds. So we're going to be using Rosa. This boss is weak to staves, rods, and greatswords. So for your breakers, we're using double staff on Rosa. You can use double rod, double greatsword, whatever. And then Regis is just a general buffer. We gave him greatsword just in case the bar takes more to break. We're using Vaughn to imperil the boss. Again, he's using a staff. But again, Rosa does it by herself. The others are just, you know, in case you're not using Rosa, maybe you're using like barrage unit or something. Doesn't really matter that much. But here we go. Rosa just double cast Radiant Arrow. Zahn would triple cast Vicious Strike. If you're using something like Arden or barrage units, you would just do whatever. As you see, the gauge breaks extraordinarily quick, and Rosa's still going. Significant overkill on that gauge. You don't need Rosa to do it. She's just nice and easy if you do have her. We'll go ahead and stat buff and killer buff with Regis. We'll imperil with Vaughn, and then we'll just one-shot the boss with our triple cast chainers. And if you don't have your own Cloud, of course we all have Tifa, but if you don't have Cloud, you can use a different triple cast chainer. The old Cloud Neovisions works. Red XIII works. If you've got Neovision's Rain, he works. They all triple cast Stardust Ray. But there we go. As soon as the self cap happens, the boss dies in one chain. Of course, we triple cast it, so we kind of like triple overkill this boss. Super easy. I mean, I've seen some comments from people online saying that they're having a problem with these bosses. I mean, I get that my gear is strong, but you've got Tifa. These bosses shouldn't be that hard. But there we go. So I'm going to do this like 6 more times. I'm going to get enough of these Brave Insignias to level up my Red XIII. And we'll be using Red XIII to kill Behemoth and a few other trials in just a minute. So I'll see you guys as soon as I finish farming. Alright guys, I have farmed the boss and gotten my red good to go. I only had 5 or 6 copies of Red before today, so I cannot get his EX1. I can only EX0 him, but his EX0 is more than enough, and honestly his EX1 form is kind of like whatever. His base form is where all the good stuff is, like that evasion foolishness. So we're going to be using my Red XIII. He's geared pretty well. You don't need this well of a gear to beat Behemoth. Red just destroys the fight even in cheap gear. But I kind of went, you know, pretty well geared on mine. I gave him a fire weapon, not required. He does have an imbue, but honestly, like, who has time for imbues? And you can just use the Inferno Saber from the Anniversary if you don't have Centaurio. But in my opinion, he's good with the fire weapon. It's just more convenient. Mine has 300% Beast and Demon Killer. And the reason Red is so good for this is, for one thing, he has Killer Rave, which boosts his killers by 150%, including Beast and Demon. This guy really hates Behemoth. And he's also got Sled Fang, which gives him 10 stacks of Mirage every single time he attacks. So even though he's not wearing any evasion gear, Behemoth will never be able to touch this dude. And the friend we're taking is BJ. He's got a red built me one, pretty much the exact same way almost, a little bit better than mine. He's got... he's a little bit short on Beast Killer, but it doesn't really matter. We're going to destroy this fight irregardless. And he's got a fire weapon. So there's our base team. The rest of the team is a very classic Behemoth team. We've got the Death Immune Cecil. We're evading for more bulk. Got some fire resist. Rena, Death Immunity evasion with some mana regen. Eurisha, she usually does killer buffs, but we don't even need that because Red does his own killer buff. So she's here. Really, all she's going to, for the most part, do is dispel the boss. I just didn't feel like swapping the team around. And then Vaughn, Imperil breaks, the usual thing. It's just, you know, what Vaughn does. Okay, let's get in here. And assuming the boss cooperates with break resist, this should be a pretty quick and easy clear. So let's Imperil and double break. And let's see if we have to reset the turn already. Hey, breaks worked. Alright, Cecil is going to cover and change. Eurisha on this first turn is just going to do a fire resist for Cecil because he can't do his own fire resist until 2 more turns. Rena, let's see, we'll give Mother's Protection and we'll do, you know, actually we don't really need Mother's Protection. I'm going to save that. We're going to do Reflection and Haste. And, alright, so I'm still learning Red. I don't know entirely how to do him. I think we're going to do Lunatic, Killer, and High Speed. That's going to give us triple cast for a bunch of turns. It's going to give us killers for a bunch of turns, and it'll give us that 10 stack of Mirage to make Behemoth not be able to hurt us. Alright, so apparently we already triggered the first threshold, and that was just a setup turn. Very nice. Which is fine. Alright, so there's the Rampage. We're just miraging it all. Can't hurt us. Alright, I'd like to get Rena's LB here if possible. Please, Rena, get some crystals. Come on, Rena. We didn't quite get it. That sucks. Alright, so let's have Eurisha dispel the boss. Get rid of that resist buff. Let's see, Dissipation, and then we'll do Sustainment so she can do barriers later. Vaughn will just reload. And breaks worked. We're doing good. Cecil. Alright, we got Rena's LB actually, so Cecil's good. Cecil doesn't need to do much for this turn. We're going to Into the Light. We're going to Mother's Protection, or Paladin's Protection, and, I don't know. Provoke? Why not? Alright, so Red, I guess every turn, I think Spirit of Sito is higher damage. So, oh, we can't even use it yet. Oh. So I guess we just chain every turn with his, where's his triple? I guess we just, yeah, chain every turn, whatever. Both of these are the same modifier, I think. So it doesn't really matter which one we use. Yeah, they're the same modifier, so just use them both. Okay. Let's do some damage. So we're going to lose Vaughn here. We triggered another threshold. We're actually going to, This is a little amusing because we're going so quickly, I'm going to actually run out of... I'm going to have problems with my actions per turn now. Okay. The boss has resist buff now, too. Ugh, irritating. And I can't cure that. Alright, let's go ahead and raise Vaughn. And let's do Mother's Protection for Cecil. Cecil will fire resist and change stance. Eurasia will go ahead and top off Cecil for us with Resurgence. Turn 3, we don't have our cooldown yet. And the boss is resisting, kind of sucks here. Because Vaughn was dead. I should have given Vaughn the death immunity, honestly. It would have sped this up. Oh well. Oh well. There goes Eurasia. We don't really care about her for the moment, though. Alright, the boss is targeting Arena, but the fight's going to be over in like 20 more seconds, so we don't really care. It's now turn 4, so now we can do Spirit of Saito. How long does triple cast last? 6 turns? The fight's going to be over by turn 6. Alright, let's go ahead and Perfect Dispel the boss. I think his buff still... Yeah, he's still resisting. Let's Perfect Dispel the boss. Let's see. Perfect Dispel, Break, and then Fire Achilles. Yeah, Arena will get the dead back up. And... I guess Cure All seems fine. Cecil will into the light, protection, and let's do Lunarian Might to give himself a better mitigation. Red is going to Killer, High Speed, and Spirit of Saito for the bigger damage. Killer, High Speed, Spirit of Saito. And if I'm doing Red wrong, forgive me, I've never used him on the JP server, so I don't know specifically what the correct way to use Red is, but this seems to be working pretty well, I gotta admit. Could have been a turn 4 clear. Unfortunately, I put Vaughn in the wrong party slot, and he was dead, and we couldn't get rid of that resist buff on that one turn. For some reason, my Red died. I don't know why that happened. Now I'm confused. What did I do wrong? Did I not use Mirage? That's possible. I very well might have not used Mirage. I'm not entirely sure. I'll have to check the video replay. I might not have used Mirage for a turn by mistake. It's not really gonna matter because we win now, but still. Let's go ahead and dissipate and just whatever. Vaughn will triple break. Let's see, break, and imperil. I'm gonna have to watch that replay and see why my guy died. Almost certainly, I didn't cast Mirage that turn by accident. Anyway, yeah, as you see, Red 13 just really destroys the Behemoth Thrall, makes it super easy. You don't need any evade gear for him. You just go in here and chain every turn. And if I had put Vaughn in the right party slot, we would have had a 4-turn clear. But whatever. I mean, it was still very, very easy. Okay, let's go ahead and pop some other trials real quick. I guess we'll just keep recording because why not? We need to do the Explosion of Needles. For this one, let's go ahead and just grab a Cloud Friend. We don't really care too much what the Cloud Friend looks like. Max level, Great Swords, Final Fantasy VII. As long as the Cloud Friend has, let's see, their shift form unlocked. They do, and they're wearing at least a little bit of LB gear. Oh wow, that's looking real good. Okay, let's bring a Cloud Friend. Now we're going to unequip the whole everyone, and let's build a team to do these other 2 trials. These will be super easy trials. So we're going to go ahead and bring My Cloud. This is the Cactus, so we're going to need Plant Killer. We'll just real quickly gear him for some LB damage. Let's see, let's steal that card back from Red. Let's give him non-elemental. Oh, no, we're going to be doing it on the shift form. Let's go ahead and give him this. Let's give him Plant Killer. We want the Ancient Sword, Plant Killer, the Bug Killer. None of this matters. We're doing LB, so let's give him an LB gear, actually. We're doing LB, so we want to get Storm Kickers. Let's see. Limit Burst damage, so we want AC Cloud. We're at cap for attack power. We're at, let's see, Plant Killer, right? 250 Plant Killer. which is good enough, honestly. We're not going to need more. Let's go ahead and go all in for LB damage beyond that. Let's do Squall. Let's do Kyanos, and let's do other Squall. Alright, so we've got 4K attack, we've got 250 plant killer, and we've got too much LB damage, which is whatever. Who cares? Good enough. Okay, so we need, let's see. So now we need to fill LB on turn 1, so we're going to... That'll be a job for Machina. Not that Machina, the other Machina. Okay, that fills our LB. We need Imbue, Imperil, and LB damage. That would be this unit. We need breaks, so that would be Vaughn. And we need to survive the death attack, so that will be Mastermind Zahn. Alright, let's go in here and deal with the Cactuar Trial for our things. Alright, Machina, let's go ahead and give us some LB gauge. Luna Freya, let's go ahead and imbue and LB boost. Vaughn, let's break everything. Mastermind Zahn, let's go ahead and hide so we survive this. And Cloud, let's go ahead and shift and spinning bike. Nice and easy. Brave shift. Spinning bike. Wait for this to finish. Alright. Alright, so that trial was nice and hard. There goes the whole team, but Zahn was hiding, so we win. Alright. I think the only other somewhat recentish trial is the Esper trial. We're going to do pretty much the exact same thing we just did. So we're going to go ahead and get out of this. We need to do Beast of the Dark 2. Elite version. Let's go ahead and just grab a Cloud on anything. We don't care. Belrain. As long as you've got some LB gear on your shift form. You actually don't have any LB gear, do you? 50 LB gear? What is going on here? We don't want you. Syra. How are you looking? 1,000 ATK. We don't want you either. FM. No Esper. Alright, Bago Rock. Are you doing some LB damage in your shift form? Here we go. Looks like you are, I think. 200% LB damage, good enough. Good enough, we're taking Bago Rock. Alright, so, let's see. We've got... Cloud already has Natural Human Killer, so we'll just gear him for a little bit of Stone Killer in his shift form. Stone Killer, LB damage. This should be fine. This is an old trial. This is not going to matter. Max LB damage, let's see, Human Killer 100%, Stone Killer 225. We're actually too high on... Oh, here we go. We'll shift this out for a human killing weapon. That seems fine. That seems fine. Alright, let's see. So we've got the Dispel and the LB fill. We've got the Imbue and Imperil. We don't actually need breaks. We don't need Zahn either, but we do need someone to take that ambush charm. So Cecil is immune to charm. We'll have him take the ambush with some provoke. Let's see. Passive provoke, you're good. We don't need Zahn for this. I'm like 99.99% sure this is super not important, but just in case we don't one-shot, we're going to bring Regis for a human killer buff. I really don't think it'll matter, but just to be safe. Alright, so during the ambush, there's going to be a charm single target. We've now got Cecil to provoke that. That's all we care about. Alright, there's also the cover on Golem, so we're going to use Machina to Enfeeblement Drive and then fill LB gauge. We're going to target Golem, Dispel Golem, and fill the LB gauge. Alright, Luna Freya will imbue water and LB buff. Regis will, let's dual cast. Stat buff and human killer buff, just in case. Cloud will shift, and we're going to spinning bike our way to victory and get all our raid coins. Or our soon coins. Alright, everything's finished. Okay. This should be a pretty... Oh, jeez. This trial is so old. I'm sitting here all panicked, like, oh, we might not kill it. The freaking guy went to half health on literally The Unchained first hit. Okay. I kind of was overthinking that one way too hard. Yeah, just a little bit, just a little bit. Okay, the rest of the trials you need to do are super trivial, like Omega. Just Cloud has Guts, just give him a Thunder Weapon and one shot on turn 1. The other ones were, I forget the other ones what they were. Maybe that was it. I don't remember. Oh, Echidna, same thing. Oh, Gilgamesh was one of them, same thing, just one shot on turn 1. March of the Beast, bring someone with bring like Ace and just AoE LB every single turn, etc. So there we go. There was our content for the week. I guess I'll be farming the World Reset, more of the Pog bosses in case I ever off-banner Aeris, etc., etc. Alright, see you guys next time.